You've been told your whole life to save your money and stay out of debt. Go to school, land a good job, pay your bills on time, and eventually, you'll reach financial security. But what if that's the very advice keeping you poor? What if the financial system is a game, but you're playing by rules that are designed for you to lose? I used to play that game too. I did everything I was supposed to. I worked my tail off, saved what little I could, and just watched in frustration as I struggled to keep my head above water. It felt like no matter what I did, I just couldn't get ahead. Then I learned the truth. The rules the average person follows are misleading. They're a narrative built to keep you working, spending, and stuck in a cycle of debt. The wealthy don't follow those rules. They play a completely different game. And today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on the system, debunk the biggest myths you've been told, and show you the real rules for building wealth. Section 1. The myth of saving your way to riches. The first and most common piece of advice we get is to save our money. Put it in a savings account, they say, and watch it grow. It sounds responsible and it feels safe. But relying on saving alone is a guaranteed path to falling behind. Here's the hard truth. In most economic climates, the money in your savings account isn't really growing, it's shrinking. It's being eaten away by a silent thief called inflation. Inflation is just the steady increase in the price of everything, which means every dollar you save today will buy you less in the future. For example, a modest inflation rate of 3% a year can cut the purchasing power of your money in half in about 24 years. So while your savings account might be paying you 1% interest, if inflation is at 3%, you're losing 2% of your money's value every single year. You're not getting richer. You're slowly losing ground. But the story goes deeper. You probably think that when you deposit money, the bank keeps it safe and lends it out. That's a myth. The reality, as confirmed by institutions like the Bank of England, is that banks don't just lend out customer deposits. When a bank issues a loan, it creates new money electronically. It just types numbers into the borrower's account. The old textbook idea of a money multiplier, where your deposit gets lent out over and over, is an oversimplification of how modern banking works. A bank's ability to lend isn't just limited by deposits. It's mainly determined by whether they think a borrower is creditworthy. Think about what that means. The system isn't really built on your savings. It's built on creating new money through debt. While you're carefully saving cash that's losing its value, the system is designed to reward people who borrow this newly created money to buy assets. Section 2. The misunderstanding about debt. This brings us to the second big myth, that all debt is bad. From a young age, we're taught to be afraid of debt, okay? And for a certain kind of debt, that's good advice. But saying all debt is bad is a trap. It stops you from using one of the most powerful tools for building wealth. The wealthy understand there are two kinds of debt, what I call bad debt and good debt. Bad debt is what you've been warned about. It's high-interest credit card debt for things you can't afford, or a car loan for a vehicle. That loses value the second you drive it off the lot. This is the debt that traps you, drains your income, and keeps you running in place. Good debt, on the other hand, is what the rich use to get richer. This is debt taken on to buy assets that either generate income or grow in value. Think about it. A mortgage for a rental property where the tenant's rent covers the payment. A business loan to expand a profitable company. This is using debt as leverage. This is how the game is really played. While most people are told to avoid debt, the wealthy use it to their advantage. They borrow money at a lower interest rate to invest in assets that produce a higher return. They are literally using the bank's created money to make themselves more money. Of course, this carries real risk. Leverage can amplify losses just as it can amplify gains, but they see it as a calculated tool for growth. By teaching you to fear all debt, the system keeps you from using the very tool that could help you get ahead. If it's blowing your mind that two of the biggest pieces of financial advice are, at best, incomplete, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, because understanding the myths is just step one. The next step is learning how to use the truth to your advantage. Section 3. The real rules of the game. So if saving alone is a losing game and avoiding all debt is a trap, what are the real rules? It all comes down to a shift in your mindset, guided by 3 new rules. Rule 1. You must acquire assets. Stop focusing on saving cash and start focusing on converting your income into assets. The goal isn't a giant pile of cash in the bank, losing value every day. The goal is to own things that either make you money or grow in value. Significant wealth is built through ownership, not just by saving. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. This could be real estate that brings in rent, stocks that pay dividends, or a business that generates profit. And you don't need to be rich to start. The idea that investing is only for the wealthy is another myth designed to keep you on the sidelines. You can buy fractional shares of stocks or invest in low-cost funds with very little money. Key is to start. Be consistent and let your money start working for you. Rule 2. Learn to use debt as a tool. Instead of fearing debt, learn to respect it and use it wisely. Before you borrow, ask one simple question. Will this make me money? If you're borrowing for a liability, something that takes money out of your pocket, think twice. If you're borrowing for an asset, something that could put money in your pocket, it could be a smart move. But remember, even good debt has risks. An investment can go down, and you're still on the hook for the loan. So do your homework. A mortgage for a rental property in a good area or a business loan for a proven idea are examples of calculated risks. Start by building a good credit history so that when the right opportunity appears, you have the option to use debt strategically. Rule 3. Shift your identity from consumer to owner. This is the most important rule. The system is designed to make you a consumer. You're trained to work for money and then spend it. To win, you have to break that conditioning. You have to stop thinking of yourself as just a worker or a consumer and start seeing yourself as an investor and an owner. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. And more importantly, how hard that money works for you. Financial success isn't just about a high salary. It's about your habits. Start educating yourself. Read books, listen to podcasts, and learn everything you can about how money and investing really work. The system often uses fear and complexity to keep you out of the game. They say it's too risky or too complicated. The truth is, the riskiest move is to follow the old advice blindly and do nothing. For too long, you've been playing by a set of rules that don't serve you. You've been told that saving cash is the safest option and all debt is bad. This is an oversimplification that can trap you financially. The truth is, your savings are often being devalued, while the wealthy use debt as a primary tool to acquire assets. In many ways, the system rewards strategic borrowers and owners, not just savers. But now you know. You know the path to financial strength isn't just a savings account, but asset ownership. You know that debt isn't just a danger, but a powerful tool when used carefully. And you know that the most important investment you can ever make is in your own financial education. You have a choice. You can keep playing by the old rules, or you can change how you see and use money. You can learn the real rules and start playing to win. Break free from the old narratives. Take control. The game is on, and now you know how to play. This video shifted your perspective? Do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for more content that challenges traditional financial advice. And for my question of the day, what is one financial belief you grew up with that you now starting to question? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.